All right. Good evening and welcome to our Prescott Valley Arts and Cultural Commission meeting. I'm Helen Dickerson. I'll be the chairperson this evening. And if we could get roll call.
Commissioner Smith?
Here.
Commissioner Dusky?
Here.
Commissioner Gibson?
Here.
Chairperson Dickerson?
Here. All right, moving right along. We need a motion this evening to approve our agenda.
I'd make a motion to approve the agenda with these changes. I'd like to delete item 7A and add 8B, Public Art Show Partnership.
All right, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We need an approval, or excuse me, a motion for our approval of our minutes from our February work study and regular meeting.
I make the motion that we approve the minutes from February 17th work study as well as February 17th regular meeting minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. All right. Well, we are going to jump right into some very exciting art and culture news this evening. And Suzanne, if you would like to introduce our guest artist tonight.
Tonight I have the privilege of introducing Jody Miller. Would you like to come forward? And she has a style in photography that is just beautiful. And I don't want to go too far. You tell us about it, and it's wonderful, so I'll let you all.
Okay, thank you for inviting me here tonight. Appreciate it. I'm just going to jump right in with actually just describing the pictures that I brought, and then I'll tell you a little bit about how I got involved in it. So the farthest one over is called One with the Sea, and that one was taken in Florence, Oregon last summer during a photo shoot that I did there for a couple of days on the beach, and that is an Andalusian stallion. The one right next to it is called Dust Storm, and that was also taken in Oregon quite a few years ago at a dude ranch there. And if you're into local Prescott real estate, that was used on a cover of a magazine for the local real estate firm here last year. And then this one right here, which was the one that won second place at the Prescott Valley Art Days, was that's called Sandstorm, and that was also taken in Florence, Oregon during a very horrendous sandstorm on the beach. So this is just a small collection of what the type of work is that I do. I'm a horse photographer and an artist, and I've been photographing horses for over 30 years. Wow. I originally started while I was working on a horse ranch outside of Palm Springs, and started taking pictures of the horses for the boarders, and it just caught on. People just loved the work that I did. And so I did that for a couple of years and took promotional pictures for stallion photos and horses for sale and pictures for different ranches around town. And then I drifted away from it for a while. But I've always had a fascination with horses, and I've always felt a calling to keep doing it. So in the early 2000s, I attended a photo workshop in New Mexico. And while I was there, I got some really great pictures. And that led me to then start selling my work at art galleries. So since that time, I've appeared in several art galleries, some of them here in Prescott, some in Scottsdale, and even one in Texas. And right now I am a full-time member at Arts Prescott Cooperative Gallery, which is the gallery right in the middle of Whiskey Row. It's been there over 20 years, and we're a community of 25 artists that own and operate the gallery. So on a permanent basis, my work is always showing in there. And then throughout this coming year, I have work that will be showing at a gallery in Sedona, a gallery in Williams, and then I'm also participating in the Prescott Area Artist Studio tour this year. Great. So I do show my stuff in a lot of different places. In the last couple of months, I've been very heavy working on my new website, jodylmiller.com. And on my website, you can see a collection of all my pictures and find out about all the services that I offer. I do private commissioned work for people's personal horses, as well as commercial work for if you were promoting a horse or promoting a ranch and you needed some stock images for your brochures or things like that, or your website. So I do that kind of work So I am working on my website, and that is live now. And then I also participate, of course, in all the social media, Twitter and Instagram and all of that. The other thing I wanted to tell you is I also participate in a lot of charities throughout the community. It's because I do artwork, and art is artists are always getting hit up for donating work. So I usually donate to the Highland Center and also the Big Brothers Big Sisters. And I did the photo shoot for all the pictures that are in the Yavapai Humane Society equine calendar for this year. Yeah, so it's been really fun to be able to give back to the community and also to just get the support. I've really enjoyed that. As far as shoots this year, this weekend I'm going down to the Salt River to photograph the wild horses at the Salt River. And then I'll be traveling to New Jersey in May to photograph a racehorse. Yeah, and just other local horses around town. So that's kind of what I do.
Yeah. I was going to ask you a question about
Sure.
wild horses, but is that a long shoot? How do you prepare for that? For them to be comfortable with you?
Yeah, I've photographed wild horses a couple of times in New Mexico, and it's usually very long days, and it's a lot of patience. And you do kind of just, once you scout them out and you figure out where they are, then you kind of just crouch down and wait until you can move a little closer and move a little closer and move a little closer. So it's very timely until you can get close enough to get some shots. You have to move, like I said, really slowly, but they can be very elusive, so it's time-consuming just trying to figure out where they are and then tracking them down. So,
Well,
yeah.
Your work is absolutely gorgeous. And,
Thank you.
And from here, when I first saw you putting it up, it almost looked like it was painted. Mm-hmm. And is it?
The technique that I use, I used to just do my photos on regular photo paper and then frame them and present them like that. But I found that a lot of people wanted to do their own framing and their own matting and that kind of thing. So I decided to switch to this gallery wrap. It's called a giclée, and a lot of painters use this technique to capture the original painting and then reproduce it over and over. But as a photographer, you can take a digital image and then convert it to canvas. It gets printed on the canvas, and then it's wrapped around stretcher bars and mounted, and then it arrives totally ready to hang, ready to go. So there's no framing necessary.
Well, those are just exquisite.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Tell us your website again for the audience.
JodyLMiller.com.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the time.
Absolutely gorgeous work.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Jody, thanks, Brian, for helping her. And again, thank you again for bringing these gorgeous examples of your photography. Next up, we are very excited to introduce our Bradshaw Mountain High School theatrical troupe. And Jantina Russell is our director. And she is going to come and tell us about the upcoming spring play.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Welcome.
Really, always a great opportunity to come brag about my students because they're amazing. They blow me away with everything they do and how much energy that they put into everything. But we do have a spring play coming up where the program involves, the program itself at Bradshaw Mountain High School, let me just take a few minutes to talk about that because it really is a fantastic program we got going there. We have about 200 students involved in both the on-the-stage acting and performing, and then also I have 2 tech programs where the kids are helping out behind the scenes, building sets, props, costumes, everything we need for the productions. That's been a new addition to the theater arts program, and I'm really excited to bring that to the school and give those kids who want to be involved in theater arts but are a little too shy to actually get on the stage, which was me in high school. There's no way you could have gotten me on the stage, but I loved being a part of creating something and finding my art through the backstage work. So I'm happy to give those kids that opportunity to shine in their own little dark area of the backstage. But this particular play, we are performing William Shakespeare's classic comedy, A Midsummer Night's Dream. And I was inspired to choose this. A few years ago, my intermediate drama class, we just read the play for an assignment in class, and they performed some scenes, and they were fantastic. they just really blew me away by how good they were. And I said, oh, if I don't get these kids to do this play in full length, I'm really going to be missing out. And I think it's a great opportunity to bring Shakespeare to our community, because unfortunately most of us, our experience with Shakespeare is just reading it in a classroom. And plays were never meant to just be sat and read. They were meant to be experienced and watched and seen on stage. So I love being able to bring something that a lot of people say, oh, Shakespeare, that's boring. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's actually a really, really exciting art form. And his work is just really amazing. The more you read it and the more you discover it, it's just, he's a legend for a reason.
Right.
And A Midsummer's Night Dream is one of my personal favorites. And plus, it's just a lot of fun. It's one of his best comedies. And I brought two of my students here that are in the play, Michael Brock and Lily Eccles. And they are playing two of the lead roles. Lily is Hermia, and Michael is Lysander. And they're one of the two sets of couples in the play. So I'm just going to give a little background. They're going to perform a short scene for you tonight, so I hope you enjoy. But at this point in the play, Hermia has been told by her father and the Duke of Athens that she has a choice to make, that she can either marry Demetrius, whom she does not love, because she loves Lysander, become a nun, or be executed.
Oh.
Because we're talking about ancient Greece here, so we could still execute women for that. And so Lysander comes up with a plan to solve the dilemma that they're having. So I will leave it to these two.
Okay.
How now, my love? Why is your cheek so pale? How chance throws us there to fade so fast?
Belike for want of rain, which I could well be teemed from the tempest of my eyes.
Ay me, for aught that I could ever read, could ever hear by tale or history, the course of true love never did run smooth. But either it was different in blood,
O cross, too high to be enthralled too low.
or else misgraft in respect of years,
O spite, too hell to be engaged too young.
or else it stood upon the choice of friends,
O how to choose love by another's eyes.
or if there is sympathy in choice, war, death, or sickness did lay seeds to it, making it momentary as a sound, swift as a shadow, short as any dream, brief as the lightning in the colleague night, that in a spleen unfold both heaven and earth, and ere a man hath power to say, behold, the jaws of darkness do devour it up. How quick bright things come to confusion.
If then true lovers have ever been crossed, it stands as an edict in destiny. Then let us teach our trial patience, because it is a customary cross. As due to love, as thoughts, dreams, and sighs, wishes and tears, poor fancies follows.
A good persuasion. Therefore hear me, Hermia. I have a widow aunt, a dowager of great revenue, and she hath no child. From Athens is her house remote 7 leagues, and there may I marry thee. And to that place the Sarpathian law cannot pursue us. If thou lovest me, then still forth thy father's house tomorrow night, and in the wood, a league without the town, a place I did meet thee once with Helena to do observance to a morn of May. There will I stay for thee.
My good Lysander, I swear to thee, by Cupid's strongest bow, by his best arrow with the golden head, by the simplicity of Venus's doves, by that which knitteth souls together and prospers love, by the fire that burned the Carthage queen when under the false Troyan under sail was seen, by all the promises men have ever broke, and wonder more than ever women spoke. In that same place thou hast appointed me, tomorrow truly will I meet with thee.
Keep promise, love.
Okay, so as you can see, they do a fantastic job with some very difficult language, as we know Shakespeare can be. So if you'd like that, our performances are going to be April 7th, 8th, and 9th at the Glassford Hill Middle School Auditorium. The tickets are $10 for general admission, $8 for students and seniors. The shows all start at 7 p.m. And if anyone wants more information, they can contact me at the school, 759-4100, and just ask for the drama department. But did you guys have any questions about the program or the show?
No, it just sounds wonderful. And it sounds like that technical program really also can provide kids with something they can take out into the workplace.
Oh, definitely. The skills they're using can translate into a lot of different fields, whether they end up in a technical, artistic technical field, but just simple building skills. Even if they learn how to repair something in their own home, I would be happy that they're comfortable using power tools. A lot of the kids, when I first even a hammer, they're afraid to use it.
Right.
And by the end of the school year, they're going for it, and they feel comfortable with drills and saws, and it's really exciting when they build something.
Absolutely.
And it works, and their eyes light up, and they said, "We did that." I said, "Yes, you did." So it just gives them a little bit of confidence to actually use their hands and make something.
Well, thank you.
Thank
you very much.
Thanks again.
I just wanted to comment that I think it's wonderful what you're doing, especially the Tech Theater program. A lot of people don't understand that very often students that are in that program may be having difficulty in other areas of schoolwork, and somehow they can express and find themselves in the tech program and in the acting programs too. It's another means of education that sometimes is the only means that works for some students. So
absolutely,
congratulations.
Thank you, and
wonderful.
that's why we teach the arts in our schools.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Great job, students. Wonderful. So come on out and watch that beautiful performance. All right, moving on with our agenda tonight, we're going to talk about our Youth Art Month winners. And Suzanne, can you share with us how that went?
Yes. We had the reception a few weeks ago, and on, I guess, March the 1st was our reception.
Right.
And we announced all the winners, and so we would like to announce them tonight for our audience. We have several different groups, and for grades pre-K through 3rd, the first place was Shahan Rendon. Second place was Oren M. Third place was Peyton Granillo. And we had 3 honorable mentions: Yahir Oliveira, Grace M., and Max. For grades 4 through 6, first place was Angelina Jonas. Second place was Anastasia Jonas. Third place was James Mack. And 3 honorable mentions: Aiden Taylor, Camilla Roman, and Luciano Terranova. For middle school, 7th and 8th grades, first place was Nicole Fisher. Second was Amber B. And third place was Alyssa Connolly. 3 honorable mentions: Lexi Travaglione, Jeremiah DeHart, and Nikki Lindsay. Yeah. Okay, and Helen would like to tell us about high school.
We did have high school winners, which was grades 9 through 12. Our first place winner was Ashley Rowe. Second was Alyssa Harms. Third place was Sergio Gonzalez. And we had 3 honorable mentions: Autumn Renew, Jacqueline Castro, and Rose Espinoza.
Another portion of our reception was to grant the first place teachers of each category a $100 art supply gift certificate. And those gift certificates went to Mr. David Kirshner from pre through 3rd, as well as 4th through 6th grade. For middle school 7th through 8th, Miss Davis won from Glassford Hill Middle School, and Mr. Kirshner was from Franklin Phonetic Primary School. And 9th through 12th grade was Ms. Dickerson from Bradshaw Mountain High School. So it's a great opportunity for the teachers to get some more supplies for their students, and just acknowledging their work. All the work is still at the Civic Center throughout the month of March, and if you haven't been there yet, you should stop by and see it. They just have some wonderful, wonderful work there.
A lot of really talented kids.
Yes.
And Suzanne, can you just go ahead and tell us about our Saturday event, our Family Arts Festival?
Yes, it's coming up on Saturday from 10 to 1. And we're going to have several different booths with some activities at the different booths. We're going to have performances at the amphitheater. Right now we have scheduled 10 different performances by various groups from our schools, from elementary through high school. And we'll have some hot dogs and chips and ice cream style custard. So there's something for everybody.
And it's free.
And it's very free.
Yes.
And it's in line with the egg extravaganza that's going on basically at the same time on the grassy area. And we are in the lower level patio with the amphitheater just on the grass right behind us. And that's where all the performances will be. So come out. It's supposed to be 71 degrees. It's going to be beautiful. And from 10 to 1 on Saturday.
Thanks. It's going to be great. And we're hoping no wind, just beautiful sunshine. All right. Moving on with a division and department update for review and possible action. Our director's report. Brian, if you could share that.
Ultimately, I'd be happy to answer any questions. As what was just commented on, a lot of the work behind the scenes has been ramped up into preparations for this coming weekend's events. And then in addition to that, also working on a couple of different art and culture related committee projects, such as the upcoming movie series, our sculpture for Art at the Center program, and also our sculpture piece at the corner of Lakeshore. And so we're very excited about all those different projects, as well as also the upcoming concert series that we're still working on. So we'll be having some quick announcements and having those brought up and announced during our April meeting. So for those out in listener land, stay tuned to the next Wednesday in April for our meeting, and we'll have some announcements for those particular dates and activities. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have concerning my report or the department's report as a whole.
No questions tonight.
Thank you.
All right.
You make your reports very clear. So.
I try.
Thanks, Brian. We've got a little bit of old business. Art at the Center application. Brian, did you have some word on that?
We deleted that
Oh,
one.
pardon me. I thought we deleted. Okay. So, yes, we deleted that. We have Theater on the Green.
Yes, Theater on the Green.
Please share with us.
I am very excited to announce that our programs for the spring and summer are in place. Our first concert will be May 5th, and that will be our Bradshaw Mountain High School Band will be performing for us. And if you haven't heard them, please come out. They are really something wonderful to hear. On Saturday, July 2nd, that July 4th weekend, we have a return visit from Five in the Wheel, who have given us a wonderful program. One time they almost got rained out, but they came back and blew us away. Yeah. And they're going to be here again, and we really look forward to their visit. Then in September, our September program is going to be south of Winslow. They are an Eagles tribute band, and they do a fabulous job, and you'll certainly want to be here for that. So this is our concert season this year, and we're looking forward to expanding it even more in years to come.
And Nancy, if I can just add to that, again, folks, this is a free event.
It's free.
And you can come out and picnic, bring your, light dinner and play on the grass, and it's for all ages. So come out and have a good time and enjoy a free entertainment. New business.
Yes, ma'am. Staff is recommending a proposal to you as it relates to your upcoming meeting agendas. Right. Typically, or traditionally, I guess I should say, in May, the Commission does not meet. And the purpose of that is simply because you have a very extravagant event known as Art at the Center. And that timing has changed a little bit this year. Actually, it changed last year. We're adopting that same change again and projecting that to occur within the month of June. So with that, staff would like to recommend for the Commission's proposal and hopeful acceptance and that would be that we would host a commission meeting within the month of May, being that we would transfer then the Art at the Center reception date to the month of June and ask that the June date be removed from the calendar, if you would like to do that. If not, we can host both months if you would like. That keeps you within the guidelines of hosting a minimum of 9 annual calendar monthly meetings. So that would make that fit perfectly fine if you wanted to trade months going from May to June and that adoption. So ultimately our proposal is reestablish the May meeting and then cancel the June meeting. And we'll present that then and update that to the calendar and then schedule accordingly.
I make a motion that we change our current calendar to have a May meeting and cancel the June meeting, and then have the art reception later in June.
Yes, and we would calendar that for June 18th.
Right.
Okay, awesome.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Brian, did you have some word on the public art show?
We do. We actually have a proposal that's been presented to staff, and I actually have 2 of the ladies that have been a large part of that attending with us tonight. So if you have further questions, we can definitely ask Miss Kathy Severson or, oh my goodness, Janet Payne. Yeah, thank you. That took care of everything. Miss Janet Payne joining us this evening. Ultimately, to encapsulate the conversations that we've had on a couple of different occasions, they would like to partner with our public art display. Calendar-wise, it works out beautifully. What they are proposing is helping us host a public art show, juried public art show. They would help us in regards to its organization, the jurying, the award distribution, hosting a public reception, doing all of these things. It would have a entry fee attached to it. Those entry fee monies would be used to offset the costs of the operation of the event, the provision of the awards, all of the elements that go into composing the entirety of the event. The timeline of the show would be an October through November date. Again, it works perfectly in regards to our calendar, because then that is the same transition period that we would go through in removing art from the public art display around the Thanksgiving time frame in preparation for the upcoming Create-A-Tree season. So it really, really works wonderful. It has been an idea, and we've hosted some public art shows in the past. It's not been part of our current inventory, and I think it would be a very much win-win scenario. It would have no impact in regards to the art and culture budget for next fiscal year. We would also continue partnering and helping hang the artwork. Its operations would fully comply with our public art display program as they are established. And we would also help in regards to the promotions of the event as well, too, because this would be a partnership. But all that correspondence, activity, organization, and all those things, the fine folks from the Prescott Valley Art Guild would be assisting us with. Ultimately, that is the proposal. If I have left anything out, please feel free. Okay. In doing so. And then if you have any questions of myself or the Prescott Valley Art Guild Committee for the Public Art Show, we're here to help answer any questions or concerns that you might have.
Did I understand that the art show would be at the library?
Yeah, it would be the public art display program, and it would be hosted right here in the library as our display purposes. And so it would be a 2D format, so it would be all the hanging artwork that would be made available.
And that's in the fall?
It would be in the fall. It'd be that October-November timeframe for the show, and of course then we would have a reception kicking off that event of the juried work that was put on display and competing for the awards.
My concern is that there's many entrants in this, the space for display, would we be able to also display in the Crystal Room or move it any place other than our normal hanging spaces?
Unfortunately, we don't have that availability. As you may be aware of, there are no provisions or allowances in regards to easels or anything like that. So the Prescott Valley Art Guild does understand and know that we're limited to that display linear feet availability. Of course, then the number of pieces will be dictated by the size and their dimension. So it's really a linear foot element. We have extremely lengthy rods, so if they can utilize a rod for 2 pieces of work, I would fully expect that they'll take great advantage to that. They do have limitations in regards to weight as well, so those would be the other. So it really follows every single aspect of our public art display program, so adherence to that would be critical. If we're fortunate enough to be able to have expansion, which there might be possibilities, but I don't think we'll find in this facility. And if the timing works out for that, that might be able to happen as long as it works for also our partner too. So that will be some of those discoverables we won't know until after July 1.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So with that, I'm happy to answer any other questions. If not, my recommendation is accepting this proposal and allowing staff and the Prescott Valley Art Guild to work together in continuation and promotion for the show.
I'd like to make a motion that we partner with the Prescott Valley Art Guild for this public art display partnership in October of 2016.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion is
Good.
passed.
I think that'll be an exciting.
Yes.
Very much. Yes, very much. The ladies have been awesome, and I know the membership behind them is very supportive, so this will be fantastic.
Right. Yeah. Just, the more art, the better.
There we go.
Very good. All right. Is there any other appearances tonight? Comments?
No further elements from staff.
Right. I'd like to then announce then our next meeting. Our work study will be Wednesday, April 20th, 5:30 here in the auditorium, followed by our regular meeting Wednesday, the 20th at 6:30 in the auditorium.
We're all done.
We need a motion.
Yeah. Well, I think I make the motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It is passed. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next month.